I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. Dr. Maya Angelou.
Hey guys, my name is Mercedes, but I go by Sadie, and welcome to sadiescotttv. So today we're going to be talking about Black mental health, and the two women that inspired me to do this video is Miss Nina, my therapist, and also my cousin Lisa. So shout out to those two beautiful women that I have in my life. I love you guys. And I'm going to be looking down because I have notes and I want to stay on topic because, you know, I'm fairly new to this YouTube thing. So bear with me. I have a couple of facts from Mental Health America, and it states that 13.4% of U.S. population identifies as Black or African American. Of those, 16% reported having a mental illness. That's roughly 7 million people. Now the question is, how many people are really going to get help out of those 7 million people? So I have a quote also from the article, and it states, historical dehumanization, oppression, and violence against Black people has evolved into present-day racism, structural, institutional, and individual, and cultivates a uniquely mistrustful and less affluent community experience, characterized by a plethora of disparities and inadequate access to or delivery of care in the health system, individual layers of trauma, and on top of police brutality and its fetishization in news media. Black African American people living below poverty are twice as likely to report serious psychological distress than those living over twice the poverty level. Adult Blacks and African Americans are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult whites. Blacks are less likely than white people to die from suicide at all ages. That is crazy. We're more likely to report the emotions of feeling sad, feeling worthlessness, feeling like we don't have any hope, like the walls are caving in on us, but we're less likely to, commit suicide. That's bonkers. Like, I can't even believe that. Which really I could, because, of slavery and what we've been taught to, basically be strong all the time, and that we're this superhuman that doesn't have feelings, and that we have to basically shut, that part of our lives off and just go on with our lives. And that's just simply not the case. In which, really, this article touched on a lot of stuff with, like, things we experience right now today in this country, as far as the healthcare system, and on how the rates of our Black mothers dying and our Black babies dying is alarming to be this, the most developed country on earth. That's a problem, y'all. That is a problem. That's a problem. And I want to touch on Black maternal health too, because I'm really passionate about that. But those are facts. Like, I have a little bit of PTSD from 2020. I don't know about y'all, but I do. From seeing how our men have been treated by the police, and how we've been dying due to, what's been going on and all that. It's scary, and like, my mental health has had to get checked, and that's why I started therapy in January. And actually, these are facts. I'm going to touch on this a little bit. Every time that, like, I see a police car and they get behind me, I would actually, like, switch lanes because I don't want to get pulled over. And it's even worse when my husband's driving, because he like speeding, so I'm just like, please stop speeding. I don't want to get pulled over and you get shot. Like, I'm really scared for my future sons, and I'm scared for my husband all the time, because it's just a sad where we live in, and to have these people set up in such high power, it's really scary. Like, sometimes you be scared to come out the house, and really you're not even really safe in your house anymore because they breaking in houses. So it's just like, what do you do, But I want to talk about also touch on things on, like, why we're scared to, go to therapy, or, why we don't really talk about it. And in our community, it's not talked about, is because automatically when you think of mental health and you think of just going and talk about different things, you think of like a psychotic patient. You have to be diagnosed with this mental illness, PTSD or bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. You got to be either one of them. And that's not the case. Depending on what type of environment you grew up in, the type of trauma you experienced as a child, the generational curses your family has, all that ties into your mental health. And to think that we've been through over 400 years of oppression, actually 400 plus years of oppression, because it's still going on. Sad to say, it is. And those are facts. Please do not argue with me about that, because it's showing up and showing up again. History keep on repeating itself. So don't argue with that. But to be able to know that all these things happen to us, and to think that, you take a group of people, enslave them, rape them, murder them, humiliate them, dehumanize them, take away all they've ever known from their homeland, and bring them over here and make them work from sun up to sundown, and then throw them out into society and expect them to thrive and expect them to be these civilized people, you got to be in denial. And we're the children of those people. So to think that we still aren't affected by that, you guys, come on now. Come on. It's not back in the day. It's not that was old. No, it still affects us to this day. And the system we're in shows us time and time again that they don't really care. So we have to create our own space. And that's just what it is. We have to create our own space. And we have to create our own table and stop trying to want to be accepted by the society. It's not going to happen. It's not. And growing up in a Black household and experiencing not having money, not knowing how we're going to pay this or pay that can also be traumatic to a child growing up, because you're actually thinking about adult things when you're only supposed to be a child. So a lot of times they can even show up in your adult life. So that's another aspect to think about. And it's also this stigma that, no, it's not. It's also this thing in the Black community where we really don't I experience not getting hurt growing up, and oh girl, go sit down. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Go take a nap. Go outside and play. And that's a generational curse. That's sad. That is sad. That's a generational curse. And I've actually I want to break that with my future daughters and sons. I want to break that. I want to be able to, create a safe haven for where they can come to me and talk about anything. And I'm not going to criticize them. I'm not going to yell at them. So that's another thing in our community. Our mothers and great-grandmothers and all they know is just to yell. What are you yelling for? Why are you so loud? What's wrong? So they're dealing with something, they're dealing with things that they have going on too, and they're projecting it on the child. So what does that create? Childhood trauma. I'm breaking that. I'm sorry, but we're not doing it over here. And also, I'm not going to expose my kids to certain habits that I've seen growing up. So I'm nipping all that in the bud, and I don't really care how anyone feels about that. But over here, we're gonna create a healthy environment over here. And that's just on period. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But also, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of my therapy journey. I started therapy in January of 2021, so it's only been about about 2 months, really. Yeah, 2 months I've been in therapy, and I've learned that I've suppressed my childhood trauma, and that in a result, I don't really have any self-expression as an adult. I'm scared to stick up for myself. I'm scared that people are going to, you know, hate me. They're going to not like me if I express my opinion on something. And I'm learning to like break out of my shell with that. And that's one of the reasons why I created my YouTube channel, just to, you know, self-express myself. And that's gonna take some time because I'm always in my head. I have my anxiety be through the roof, y'all. And I really think about the most craziest stuff ever. Like, it's ridiculous sometimes. So in order to like stay on top of, like, you know, not feeling, you know, down a certain day, or not you know, just being all negative and stuff, I sage, which really I don't really use sage anymore. I palo santo my house. I, you know, open the doors up. I let the, you know, I push the curtains back, let light in. I play music. I play the old school throwbacks. I dance around my house. I say thank you every time I wake up, to the universe, to my ancestors. I think I'm just overall grateful. So I get out of that mindset, and I am just, you know, trying to vibrate high, you know. And I also I'm gonna get more into journaling, but I got a couple journals, and I'm gonna be practicing writing down my good thoughts, my bad thoughts, money ideas, any ideas. Just I'm writing everything down, because if you want to manifest something, you need the best way to do is write it down and put it out there to the universe and just let it happen. Because whatever is gonna be for you is gonna be for you, and ain't nobody gonna stop that. And that's like real talk right there. So yeah, I learned that I don't really have any self-expression. And also, when I get advice from family members, I take their perspective and I just run with it. So I just kind of treat that as, like, you know, their word is law, and which really that's not even the case, because half of the time I don't even like believe in what they're talking about. So I'm learning to actually be able to stick up more for myself and create my own perspective and my own reality. So that's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a journey as well. And that's just a little bit about me. I also have an ancestor altar. With ancestor altars, I think the importance of an ancestor altar is to honor those who came before you, and to just, you know, be grateful for the things that you do have, and grateful for the things that you didn't have to go through. You know, as Black people, we went through so much as a race, and for our great grandmothers and grandpas to go through slavery and all that, so we didn't have to, like, that is a huge blessing to me. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm honoring my ancestors, because they put in their work for me. And I'm sorry, baby, we on the ancestors over here, and it's not evil. It's not. So y'all need to, if I got a couple of Christians that come run across my video, it's not evil. So we was doing this way before Christianity was even introduced to us. We was honoring our ancestors. So don't come at me with that. Please don't. When I'm feeling down and I'm feeling like my anxiety is about to get to me, I you know, play with my crystals. Crystals come from the earth. They're natural. They're not evil as well. I don't know who came up with this. Oh, this evil. What you doing with that? This demonic. No, that's not. It's natural. It comes from the earth, and it actually has a lot of healing properties. And depending on which ones you get, I get the ones that basically like what I'm dealing with. So I have high functioning anxiety. So for high functioning anxiety, I use my lapis lazuli all the time, and that's used for like wisdom and truth, and it just kind of like helps me, you know, better express myself, since I have like problems with self-expression. And keeps me grounded. I also have a rose quartz, and Rose quartz kind of just attracts all love in your life, you know, on all aspects, whether you want a new relationship and all that. I'm gonna get into more about crystals, y'all. Stay tuned for that video. But this is like a couple I have. I just want to say that it's okay not to be okay, and that therapy really creates a non-judgmental environment. And you can go, sometimes you need to go and talk to a stranger. Sometimes family, let's face it, we coming from black families, we love gossiping. So sometimes things you can't tell, certain things you can't really, you know, talk to your family about. You have to go talk to a therapist about it, which is really sad, but sometimes that is really just the case, to not keep your business out in the streets, period. And I also just want to end off with this quote. I'm about to get ready and wrap it up because I feel like I've been rambling too much. But if you go to therapy, make sure you get a black therapist, because they understand the struggle, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm black everything over here. I'm just gonna be real with you. And if you don't agree with that, I'm sorry, this may not be the channel for you. So whatever you are going through, when there's a will, there's a way. And I actually got that from my aunt, so shout out to her, Connie. I want to say that if you still have lungs, you still have lungs, you breathing in oxygen, and you be able to move your limbs, be able to think straight, you're able to do all these different things, you have a purpose in your life. And sometimes it's gonna take a little minute to figure out that purpose, but that's okay, you know. Try and dibble and dab and explore and dibble and dab and everything, y'all. It's okay. Sometimes you just don't know right off the bat. And I think kind of like the society we live in is kind of like, especially with social media, you gotta, you know, have this and that and all that. And I kind of compare, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of compare myself to, you know, different women on social media. And because a lot of times it's 20 and 21 years old, there's millionaires out here. So I kind of compare myself to them, I'm not gonna even lie. But well, what I got going on now, they don't even faze me no more. I'm getting to a point where I'm just okay, and I'm trying to, like, you know, bring more peace into my life, and, you know, just be grateful for the things that I have and the things that are gonna come to me. That's where I'm at. And like I said, if you got oxygen in your lungs, you got a purpose. So, you know, keep fighting for that purpose, and don't let that negativity take you out. And with that being said, that is the end of the video. So if you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to be coming to you guys with a lot of bit more different things. And just stay tuned. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.